seconds to get everywhere they're supposed to go.
Right.
My destination, Deb, not going to my page. StreamYard, buddy, I tell you. I don't know why. It's okay. Get it on there.
Get it on.
I thought we just fixed that issue, but it's all right. I might have to look for a new streaming service one of these days, one that just stays connected. But we'll let some people jump on here, man. How's the pool? You got it all up and clean?
Yeah, it's a whatever, one that stays up all the time. I just mowed and needed to do you know what I mean. Pull the solar cover off, vacuum it. The chemicals were a little jacked, so I got that squared away, and that's all. Just normal stuff.
You did it just in time because I heard this next week's gonna be hotter than you know what. So
yeah, with all the we haven't even, and like today we kind of planned on doing it, but I mowed all day, and she's still here doing more decor and whatever, and hasn't gotten out of the house yet. But
yeah,
maybe she'll get in it later.
Yeah, well, I'll take that invite. I'll come check it out and give it a review.
You know where I live, dude. The door's open.
All right, let's get this thing started, man. And once again, Chad, I appreciate you wanting to do this, man. And probably going to cover some stuff tonight that we didn't talk about the first time when you were on the spot back on December 28th about, 3 or 4 days short of celebrating 1 year of sobriety. And
oh yeah,
Chad Lohrenz, local.
What up?
Local. I'd love to have more local people on here, but some people
sober locals.
Sober locals. So Chad Lohrenz is with us tonight, everybody, and we got some things to talk about. And there's some things that he shared with us that first time around that I think we could probably dive into a little bit deeper. So I thank everybody for tuning in. Show some love and support, some respect in the comments. I'm just going to pray us in and get right into this, Chad. Thanks again for jumping on here with me. Father God, I just want to thank you for this time that you're allowing me to have today with my brother, Chad. Just be with both of us as we get into this conversation, Lord, and we praise you. And I thank you for having me here and having me sane and sober. And I also thank you for this time with my brother Chad, and be with him as he unfolds and unpacks a little bit more of his story. And we dive a little bit deeper, and not to speak for him, Lord, but use his story, his words tonight to help that next person reach that first 24 hours or just reach that next day. It's really what it's all about. And we just thank you. We thank you for everybody that's going to be tuning in, watching this tonight, no matter where they're at on their journeys, no matter how many days they got, no matter what their faith levels are, Lord. We're just in this for the next person and to offer some help and some encouragement that maybe we needed at one point in our lives that we weren't getting. So this is what it's all about, is to help that next person. I thank you for this time. I thank you for this day, the day that you've made. I say this prayer boldly and humbly in your holy son, Jesus' name. Amen. All right, Chad. December 28th, man. It was I don't really throw out the word honor too much, but it was an honor that you chose to do this with me that first time. I mean, I grew up knowing you. We had some different circle of friends, but some of the same ones we knew. And I was like, he might not want to do this with me, but you did. I thought that was very humble of you. You were eager to share your story. It's definitely helped a lot of people. I think it's a good way to do your inventory and to check to see where you're at on a daily basis with everything that you've gone through. You shared a lot with us that first time, and I appreciate you coming back on to just kind of build from there.
Sure.
And I mean, I just want to start off, maybe catch me up as well. How's life been for you since the first of the year, that last time we talked, as you celebrate your 1 year and basically year and a half now at this point?
Yeah, man, I tell you what, if you could see everything that's happened to me that's good, you wouldn't believe it. But I want to say, as we know, on my first appearance, I had just recently dealt with the death of my homeboy Jerry Lee, my little dachshund. And the fact was that we were out having fun and I accidentally ran him over and being the one that actually killed him and whatever. And at that point, I think you might recall me saying that's when I told the universe, that's it, no more tests. I'm not drinking no more. It don't matter what you throw at me. I'm not going to slip. So it stops now. And I kid you not, ever since that dog passed, it's like he sacrificed his, and you can think I'm nuts. I don't care. That dog sacrificed his life and got out of my way for something, because everything since that moment has done nothing but get good. And I mean, it's all about my mindset, how I use my imagination, how do I talk to myself, these things that create your reality. But something shifted there. It was like it was a huge shift, a dark night of the soul, whatever you want to call it. Unbelievable, dude. Because at December 28th, dude, I mean, I was still pursuing the solar business. I hadn't started the dry life, my sobriety thing closed yet, but I was doing zero ducks and that, and just, I was kind of burned on solar business and wasn't my, what do I want to say? Like, I wasn't real confident about it and everything.
Yeah.
But then boom, I landed one, and then I got another customer that referred all these people, and then boom, boom, and then I landed two of the biggest solar jobs I've ever done in my life, dude. I mean, I've made more money in the last 6 months than last month I made more money than I made at FedEx all last year. And I'm not here, and again, I'm not here to sit here and go, I'm Chad Lohrenz and I'm making all this money, because it's sales. So next month I could go broke. But I'm just saying, it's all about, it's just amazing what has happened. Because even at December 28th, I got on here to try to clean myself out and lay it all out there. I didn't know where I was going to, you know what I'm saying? And it just, that's why I followed up with you, man. Because I'm like, dude, I'm a whole different, that dude on December 28th is dead. Yeah. Here's this guy now, and it's like, that's why I just wanted, people to understand, like, well,
there's a lot more. Go ahead.
2025, dude, I'll put it this way, 2024 in solar, I made close to $90,000. 2025, I made $2,900. I was working part-time at a bakery. I was, working, I'm still working at FedEx, so I had great benefits there. But at that time, I had to have FedEx, and it wasn't even enough to touch my bills. And then I got on driving a school bus. So now it's like, okay, now I'm making $600 a week driving a school bus, and I only got to work an hour and a half in the morning, an hour and a half in the afternoon. Then I go out to FedEx. That's my insurance. Well, that in between time, that's when you do your solar. So it all just, even though I didn't want to work at FedEx, I didn't want to drive a school bus. You know what I'm saying? That's why you let go of control, guys. You got to let go of control and just let it flow, because that is exactly, again, you are right where you're supposed to be no matter where you're at. And that's in it. It all took care of itself.
That's when the opportunities come more, or that you can recognize that they kind of fall into your lap that way. Trying to make too many things happen and trying to control too many things. I mean, you got to put the work in and the effort. I understand that, but sometimes, you can work yourself into a corner, and then you're like, why did I even get here in the first place?
Right. Because I told myself, towards the end of the school year, I was like, well, you know what? I've met some serious goals with my solar business, because in the summer I detail cars usually. And I'm like, man, if I can meet these certain goals and make X amount of money, I don't need to detail cars this summer. And I'm 55 years old. Why don't I just enjoy the summer? Well, then the end of the school year rolls around. I start thinking, well, I'm going to detail some cars. Well, I put them on the schedule, and guess what happens? My solar business explodes even more. I can't detail these cars. You know what I mean? So I'm like, you know what, dude, you're done. Just get that out of your head. Detailing a car all day in the hot sun for $170 is costing you more money than you're making. Put it away. Do what you said you were going to do. Love yourself. You know what I mean? Quit trying to kill yourself. So
true. I
gave it up. I'm like, I'm not doing it. I just got it out of my head.
I feel you. I mean, I'm definitely past the point of like, 10, 12 hour factory working shifts. I
Yeah.
just been door dashing. I might have to look into the solar panel gig, and
Hey, dude, I can show you how
the
you can
solar
get
bros.
started with me.
I'm just saying, I'm open to anything. If that happened, you never know. You got to have some kind of a personality to sell them solar panels, but these days it is a pretty hot item. But
Well, I mean, as long I could, we'll talk about it. But all you got to do is like get me the leads, and if I can close them, I give you. That's how I got in. I
you
got
never,
my guy a million leads, and he wrote me a big fat check. So I said, "All right, I'm going to start doing this." So they let me come on. You know,
it may happen. You can work from home a little bit, right?
no, it's all. Yeah, I work from home, write everything off.
There you go. Let me put this out there too. I really want to like paint this picture for people because when you came on with me on the 28th of December, like I said, a few days before that year, the dog died. That had to be rough. And something else I want to put on, I want to paint this picture because like you were just getting, I mean, just in it with the sobriety thing. So there's
Yep.
so many things that happened that were bad. The money was tight. The dog died. You had to sell what?
My 1952 Chevy. That
That
was
was tough. So that's three huge things. That's stress. That's loss. That's sentimental. That's emotional. You
house
stuck
leak
through
in
that.
the house full of mold.
Right, right. I remember
I
that.
mean,
So
you
if
name it.
anybody, I'm just saying, if you wanted to be like, heck with it, I gave it a shot, but all this crap's happening, I'm going to have me a couple. I
Yeah.
don't think anybody would have said nothing, but you wasn't having that. You said no to
No,
that. And here's the big thing. I think this is probably going to be a decent chunk of this. Um, you really laid it out for us that this other really big moment, and maybe the biggest, really the pivotal point in this whole thing. Not to say the dog wasn't and everything else, but you were supposed to go to the hospital to be with a friend that was having an operation done or whatnot. I never
right.
got the person's name, the friend's name. I didn't ask, and I just let that be. But you didn't end up going because of anxiety and was drinking the night before or whatever. But then you like doubled down and hadn't drank since the first of the year. Ended up going like the next day to be with them, whatever. Do you mind sharing with us who that friend was, still is in many respects,
Yeah,
and how big that moment is for you right now, especially today?
yeah. I mean, the reason. So with that happening, like I said, like you said on, so New Year's Eve of 20. So it was 2024 New Year's Eve. The next day is going to be 2025. I wasn't going to drink that night, but somebody gave me an 18 pack as a gift. So for me, I wasn't really drinking all that much. So I'm drinking, and I messaged Mikey Rogers, is my homeboy that just passed away. He's a brother to me. He's family to me. He sat at our table with my mom at my mom's house. I mean, we grew up. He's my brother. So uh, anyway, that night I had 12 or 13 beers, which for me that wasn't jack shit. That's get up at 6 and go build a house beers. So anyway, I messaged him through the night. It's New Year's Eve. Hey, Rogers, what are you doing? And he calmed down. He wasn't much of a drinker anymore, and he goes, well, I'm in St. John's, and he's had type 2 diabetes and stuff. So I got to have part of my big toe amputated, which I had already been through this with him before and a couple years back, and helped him out at St. John's getting that done and all this stuff. So I'm like, oh man, bro. Okay, well, that sucks that you're in the hospital on New Year's Eve, and I'll be there tomorrow because he's supposed to have that surgery. So I woke up next day, a little bit of anxiety, whatever, and I got in the shower and got ready to go to Springfield to see Mikey. And as I'm getting ready to go, I mean, I just had like the worst anxiety, panic attack type thing, man, where I just couldn't drive. And it had nothing to do with it was just all the things, right? Like I knew because I already knew I had money troubles coming, but it hadn't hit yet, and just all the worry and all the things, right? So I messaged Mikey and I said, I'm sorry, dude, I can't make it. I've had an anxiety attack and I can't drive, and in my mind, I'm going, what a dick. Here's your guy and your best buddy in the hospital getting ready to get part of his toe cut off, and you can't make it. Well, Mikey, he's down by law. I don't give, he didn't give a shit, really. But man, that pit, I was very upset with myself, very disappointed in myself. And I slept the whole afternoon of New Year's Eve, and I never touched a drink ever again. And I was there the next day because it turned out they didn't get the surgery done on New Year's Day. They ended up doing it on the 2nd. So I got my ass down there and waited for him to get the surgery and waited for him to get back. And he was in good spirits. He was ready to eat. You can't eat before you have surgery. So made sure he got some food and everything, hung out with him, and I even, because I said, I know what's going to happen. The minute I leave, they're going to send him home, So I go down to the nurse's station and I'm like, hey, man, guys, what's going on? Is Mikey going to go home today? No, I don't think so. He'll probably spend the night. Okay. So I leave. I get to like Elkhart. He's like, they're sending me home. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. But anyway, he had his truck there. So he ended up driving home. They let him drive home. True Lincolnite right there. Yeah, I'm just driving home. But so he got home that day and best friends, And so what's funny, dude, is as time went on, that was New Year's. So then we roll around, I don't know, it's probably Mother's Day, Easter, or something like that. And he's at my mom's. I invited him for dinner over there because his family wasn't doing nothing or whatever. And his mom and dad are both passed. So I invited him over there. And he's like, you still not drinking? And I said, no. And he basically wasn't either. I said, no. And I mean, Chad Lohrenz, man, he's a drinker. I mean, when your friends have known you for 35, 40 years and you're not drinking, they're like, what's going on? So we're outside and he was having a cigarette and he said, are you okay, man? Health wise, you don't have nothing. You're not dying, are you? I said, no, dude, I'm just legitimate. My time's up. I went pro. I'm retiring. I'm done. But yeah, it was really sad to lose Mikey. He was in California. I got word 2 Saturdays ago when I took a nap, and one of my friends said, I knew everything that was going on with him because he's my friend. We talked almost on a daily basis. But he hadn't replied to any of my Snapchats in about a day and a half, which that's nothing unusual, So I didn't think much of it. And then I woke up from an afternoon nap 2 Saturdays ago, and I'm on a group text with some friends. We're all mutual friends. And one of them said Mikey was going to be in hospice by Monday. And I said, shit. Well, he's out in L.A. So I got a hold of our friend Bubby Eckert immediately. And Bubby, he's still a partier. He'd been on the golf. He lives in Huntington Beach, California. He'd been on the golf course all day long. I could tell he was sloshed. When I talked to him on the phone, he goes, but Mikey ain't going to die alone. So he jumped in the car. It was an hour drive from his house, and he got to Mikey and got to see him and make sure he wasn't alone. So that was pretty badass. And, because what happened, I mean, he had, of course, the type 2, and then he had some work done on his foot, and that kind of got infected, and then strokes, ended up had no idea. And the doctors turned him away on Thursday, and then he went home and ended up having, I guess, he was basically just a brain dead, you know what I'm saying? But
about the same age as you, right?
Yeah, he'll be he would have been 56 on July 29th, I believe.
Gosh, man.
I was born in December of 70, so he was a year ahead of me in school, but
he was such a big personality. I mean, I wasn't close with him either, but I mean, I'd meet him. He bartended. This is more, I guess, for the local people. But if you ever went to the Alley here in Lincoln, you met Mikey at least one time. And the thing I loved about him the most was every time I'd get a beer up there or something, he would talk to me and treat me just like anybody else. And how. Hey, Trav, what's that? What that was? I hear him talking to you down there. I'm like, that, and that made me feel, cool and there. Like, he was a big personality. They had a big celebration of life for him up there, and that's to be expected. A few hundred people showed up. You said you went to that. How did that go? What was some experiences up there? Because I mean, obviously, people are going to be drinking. It's at the bar.
Yeah.
How'd that go for you?
And again, guys, when I say I'm done, I'm done. The drinking doesn't even, whatever. But anyway, to be honest with you, I wasn't real enthused about going just because it's not my thing anymore.
Yeah.
And you know how it is when you get sober, all these people, man, I love them to death. But a lot of them, you know, once you go sober, you realize what they really are and what they really mean in your life, which basically amounts to not a whole lot. Because they're just stuck doing the same old shit. And the only reason you were friends with them is because you were fucked up just like they were. But how it went was I walk in, you know, everybody's, you know, one of the biggest drunks that from my age group. She's on her damn deathbed, knows she shouldn't be drinking, but of course she was there. I'm so proud of you, you know. But whatever. And I mean, I just took my 40-ounce Stanley here full of ice water, man. And when that was gone, it was time to go. And I had a good time. It's very hard. It's very exhausting being around that energy. There was one girl in particular that I grew up with. You know, I'm trying to talk to my cousin Brian. And she's over here geeked out, you know, and fucking drinking, you know, and yak, just had that yak going, you know, and she was all good. She wasn't being like out of line, but it's just like that energy, dude, you know, it's just like, I'm ready to go.
I mean, you see it from the outside in, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know if we got an experience like that, but I remember going to the bar early on when I was one of my failed attempts at being sober. I mean, I've been sober several times, but it took a real turn in 23. But being at the Glass House uptown and not drinking, having sodas or whatever, then about an hour and a half in, you could just tell the difference. Everybody was, I mean, they're at the bar, of course. Got louder, people shouting, crazy laughter. And I'm like, it was awkward. I had to go. It wasn't like I was triggered to join in on that. No. I just thought to myself, I'm like, is that how I get? Is that how we are? Because Deb wasn't drinking really at all either. But I mean, it was still a process. But I'm like, yeah, I don't miss none of that. You know, yeah. It's not to say that, like, you know, I don't respect and love everybody else who's doing what they do. I mean, you're an American, you pay taxes, you live in Illinois, you do what you want to do. It doesn't make me feel like I'm any better than anybody else or special in any sense. But if I kept going the way I was going, I don't think I would have made it here to 2026, to be quite honest with you, Chad. And it wasn't just alcohol for me. It was some other stuff too. And yeah, it's just, you know, I just, there's people around me that really care about me and love me. I got, you know, a son that's going through some stuff. And I'm like, it wasn't that I was drinking and drugging. It's just that I was being selfish, in my own opinion, at the end of the day. I wanted to have my cake and eat it too and have nobody complain about it. Well, yeah. It just got old. I got to the end of myself, you know, and we, you know, had a little bit different journeys on that. And that's something I want to talk to you about in a little bit. The spiritual journey of yours, like you got your perspectives and opinions about some stuff. And I think it's definitely played a part into where you're at today. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let me ask this then, because you were sharing something with me before we went on. And this is a big part of it. This is why I think you want to share this and come on and share, you know, your story. Share some of what your sobriety has meant to some others. Have you found yourself in conversations with people that you just never expected to have? And what's been some reactions you've gotten from people that are just hearing about Chad Lohrenz is sober for such and such amount of time?
Right. Well, I don't really know. I remember when I first got sober, when I was working at that bakery doing deliveries, one of my fiance's best friends owns a salon, and she ordered some food and I delivered it to her, and she goes, "Are you still not drinking?" And I said, "No." And I mean, they're big drinkers and whatever. And spring was rolling around, and she says, "You're not going to drink in your pool this summer?" No, I'm not. That's the plan anyway. I mean, it's day by day, but yeah, pool, it don't matter if I had a fucking Ferris wheel. I'm not drinking. So yeah, like I said, a big one was Mikey when he was at my mom's and asked if I had a terminal illness or something, and he was being dead serious. Chad Lohrenz not drinking beer because that was, I guess, my identity.
Yeah, I was about to say that, isn't that?
And I'm not like, I'm just like you. When I was young, I snorted more cocaine than fucking Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
And I've done it all. I've done it all, but just like Phil says from Pantera, I've done it all but tap the vein.
He's still around and he's doing good, but it does become your identity. And I've never really even thought of that side of it before. It was like when you stop doing what everybody is used to you doing, I think they think you're either BSing or that you're really sick. They kind of pull you to the side. They're like, bro, what's going on? And Lord forbid you tell them, oh, there's Jesus and some God stuff going on. Some people will frown upon that or whatever, but when it's real, it's real. And it's still kind of difficult to, explain it to some people that are like just hesitant in believing you.
Right.
But thank God I don't seek validation anymore on stuff because I would get drunk and look for attention in any way I could find it. So as long as I know it's real, and you,
no permission needed.
No, it's not, man. And we both know plenty of people, some of them, the same ones, and I don't want to see anybody lose their life to drugs and alcohol. We've lost a bunch this year to overdose and drugs and alcohol. And people that were younger than me. It's been in my family. It took my dad early, my grandpa. It's just, so yeah, I do got to pray for everybody to like get to that point to where they're like, man, this is robbing me. I'm not partying anymore. This is robbing me of days.
Think about how many people, and I hate to say it, but the majority of the people that I've lost in the last year, maybe they didn't die because that day they whatever, but their illnesses and all their things is all stems from their alcoholism or their drug addiction or whatever is what put them there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even me, okay, I'm a year and a half sober, but tomorrow I could find out I have cirrhosis of the liver because I was an idiot for 35, 40 years drinking beer all the time, whatever.
That is a big part of it, man. And I think that's tough too for a lot of people. That's like, well, I got 3 years of sobriety, but my last physical, I got this kidney problem, or I guess all those years took a toll on my liver. And I think for some people that'd be like, well, the heck with it then. I'm gonna open up another bottle or a can or whatever.
But a lot of people are like, well, my Uncle Jimmy, he's 95. He still smokes 5 packs of cigarettes a day and sits down and drinks 18 pack of Budweiser every night.
He's fine.
He's a smart motherfucker, isn't he? That's the thing, because I did the same shit.
Yeah.
I managed old Joe's. Everybody in there was 95 years old.
Oh, man. What do you say? What do you say though? What's the conversations like when somebody hits you up and they're like, man, just found out you got a year of sobriety, man. It's awesome. Like, and they want to hear how you did it. They look for some encouragement. What's the conversation sound like? What do you tell them?
I just, number one, that I've had people tell me this is wrong, but I just tell them what I did. Hey man, I'll say, first thing I say is, hey man, it ain't easy, but you can do it. But you got to want it. You're not going to do it unless you want it.
That's true.
Number one. And you might as well just go ahead and plan on. And I don't sugarcoat. I'm like, you just go ahead and plan on isolating. And I've heard a lot of people say, oh, you don't want to isolate when. Well, this is what I did. Okay. So I isolated and I sat with all my emotions and I sat with all the demons that came up in my mind and all the things that I realized now that I'm straight that was messed up to do, no matter how big or small. There's just so many things that you did that weren't right, Yeah. And all the things, man, and and you also just got it, here's the thing. This is a lyric from Trevor Hall, one of my favorite like spiritual musicians. You can't rush your healing. You can't. Don't rush your healing. You can't do it. Just because Travis quit drinking and started running 3 miles a day at Memorial Park right out of the gate doesn't mean that Chad Lorenz is going to do it that way.
Yeah.
You go within yourself and you create and imagine what you want. What's the life that you want to create? And my beliefs are that basically your imagination, and I know this is going to come across crazy to Christians because I'm not an atheist. It's just imagination is Christ to me. It's like if I'm sitting here thinking, man, my life sucks, I'm an idiot. Basically, I'm sinning against myself. So therefore, I'm thinking that, and that's exactly what I'm going to get. That's why another thing is when it comes to being an alcoholic and then getting clean, I do not stand up and say, my name is Chad Lorenz and I am an alcoholic. Because guess what you just did?
Put it right back in.
You just put lack right out into the universe and you said, I am an alcoholic. So you're a fucking alcoholic. I'm not an alcoholic. That dickhead that was a drunk that is no longer me was an alcoholic. And I'm sorry. That's my biggest thing.
No, I agree.
And I don't mean to get pissy with and make AA people mad because I know I just hate that because I believe in I'm the I am. If I say I am amazing, I am rich, I am, that's self-talk. And in my beliefs, that's what creates your reality. And I'm living proof 110% that shit works, and I mean, that's just it. I love Neville Goddard's teachings. It's stuff. It's the Bible. It's Christ's teachings. It's everything. You're not going outward and you're not little. You're in and you're within yourself and you're creating your reality. You're not belittled and like you're less than, that's it. Just because I grew up, I went to a Lutheran school my whole life and I used to be like, it's just, and I'm not beating anybody up. It's a lot different. It might be a lot different if I had never had Christianity or religion in my life and I just crawled out from a gutter and I needed something. And you know what I'm saying? We're a lot of alcoholics that have never, or whatever, that whole thing is new to them. And it's, it's their salvation. And I get it. And God, go with it. I mean, who am I?
True.
I put my pants on one leg at a time. Just like everybody else. That's all, it's just, for me, I got to a certain age where it's like, man, this doesn't jive with me. And I love Edward Art is my guy, and his is all based on Neville Goddard. And
I like a lot of stuff. You sent me some stuff, and I've listened, and I don't mind what I'm hearing. I really don't, because it's positive. It causes you to like search yourself, to like kind of get real. It's in a way doing like some spiritual inventory, like what's going on. Because if you've got stuff that isn't healed, and you got old resentments that's attached to a lot of stuff from the past, if you don't get to the root of that and face it, I mean, that stuff's going to come back to bite you in the ass one way or another. And definitely messes with people's sobriety. I mean, why do we think it's still 2% that are success rate in sobriety after all these years? I mean, AA's been around for 100 and some years, and it's 2%. So for me, I had to like go above this whole higher power thing, because everything is a higher power if you want to make it a higher power. And for me, and this is where I get, I'm in agreement with you on a lot of this stuff.
It's just,
I had to go inward.
It comes down to this, and any problem, any situation is no one to change but self.
That's true.
So if you're living with somebody that you've given countless opportunities, chances, all these things, and you want to keep blaming them because you're dumb enough to stay with them or whatever the case may be, who needs to change? You do.
True.
You need to change your thoughts. You need to you need to just boogie. And, that's on your ass. I mean, if they keep robbing all your money and wrecking your car and stealing all your, you know what I mean, robbing your identity. I mean, who's not changing here?
Right. I just had I got to the point at 47 years old to where I realized that I've done everything I could possibly do with my own will. And I knew there was a lot of stuff that was causing me to think, act, and behave the way I did. And I had to get to the root of that. It wasn't just because I liked drugs and liked alcohol at that point. And with the same thing you're talking about with like sitting with your thoughts and going inward. I mean, I asked, I mean, what I did was just kind of surrender myself to God and Christ at my rock bottom. I was done living anymore. So I was like, if you want me here and want to have me, be of any help to anybody else, take over. And it's been a revealing process. Like I could just say to you that there's been countless things that just out of nowhere, I could be driving, taking a shower, watching TV, anything, definitely praying and reading my Bible, that things will get corrected in my head that I got wrong 30 some years ago, that kind of set me on a course of events to see things and be a certain way that I was never meant to be. And I've liked that because it was allowing me to like face myself and right my wrongs and know that I wasn't going to get to that conclusion on my own. And that's what's worked for me. Like if this didn't happen the way it happened, I wouldn't even be here having this conversation with you. I'll never go backwards on this, but I could absolutely respect and want to hear how everybody else is here because we're sitting here sober today. People didn't think.
Well, and the thing is like what I'm saying is I'm not saying there isn't God. I'm saying God is in here. He's not up here. He's not in the sky. He's in you. So if you're praying out for it, no, man, you got to go in and give it to yourself.
Well, the Holy Spirit dwells within us. I mean, that's for sure.
I mean, I'm horrible at repeating it. You know what I'm saying?
I believe I have the Holy Spirit. When I invited Christ into my heart, He came into my heart.
This one right here, I just listened to it just came out like 9 days ago. And what it says is, we sow and reap ourselves. And it is so powerful, dude. I mean, it is amazing. And it's not, this dude quotes the Bible all day long and explains it to you in real time, not some man-made, I don't know. See, I'm terrible at this. It's just my way of looking at it. There's no fear. It's not like, do this or you're going to hell.
Right. Oh, I don't like none of that stuff either. I mean, I'll be honest with you. And there's plenty of people that get this God thing going on in their lives, and then they want to go out and do all these works like they think that they could like equal the grace that was given to us. And I still have an issue with some of that stuff. I mean, grace determines what we should be doing. Like, I mean, I sit here and I talk to people and have them share their testimonies for other people to get a little bit of hope and encouragement. I wouldn't have done that years ago. I don't get paid for this. Like, it wouldn't have been something I would have cared about. If I was going to talk to you, I was going to try to figure out how to get something from you. And even though I might still come over and swim in the pool, that's not a bad negative thing anymore.
Right.
So I gave up trying to be whoever I thought I wanted to be years ago. And I said, let's just start from scratch. I'm not that great of a person, but I'm not really that bad. Let's just figure some stuff out. God help me. And I'd be lying to you if I said He hasn't helped me. He's brought a lot of awesome people into my life. He's made me and Debbie closer. I wasn't going to be able to do that on my own, Chad. And it's been all inward looking out here or inside. Like what needs fixed? Because all this stuff out here, I wouldn't try to do. I try to put chemicals in it. I try to do this and that and the other. None of anything outside of me isn't going to fix what's going on inside of me.
Nope. That's right.
And so I'm 100% with you on that. And that's why I respect you. And I need more conversations like this.
It's like, I was just going through my notes here. It just, this is kind of off topic, but I mean, like control, like there's a meditation I like, and it's from Emily Fletcher. She's amazing. but it's just for stress. Like if you're all stressed out, you can do this meditation and it makes you feel a lot better. It really does. The breathe work. And then the thing she says at the end is, you know, she's kind of laughing, like you're kind of making fun of your thoughts. Like, why do I have the illusion of control? Because you can't control everything. You can't control anything. It just creates
outcomes.
It creates frustration.
It does. Expectations.
It creates anxiety. You know, you're trying to control yourself through like force, and then that creates resistance. So instead, you just want to, imagine and believe, and like you have the faith, right? And consider the wish fulfilled. Like when you lay down, I do I am the creator meditation every night. Well, when I get through this meditation and I'm dreaming of all these, just you exaggerate it, like that you're the richest, you have the most amazing, whatever. But at the end of you just leave that alone and you consider it done. And once you master that, where you truly believe that faith, you have faith in that, and you honestly have put that to bed, you're not even worried about it anymore, it's going to happen, and it's not easy. I mean, I've been practicing. And, imagine, believe, and release and let go, Peace comes when control is replaced with trust. So let me say that again. Peace comes when control is replaced with trust.
Yeah. I say that a lot, and that's something I wouldn't say struggling with lately, but when things are going good, when you're having, big solar panel jobs coming in and I'm doing fine and everything's happy and money's okay, I can have faith all day long. I take that faith almost a little bit for granted. When things start happening and some trouble and storms come at your door that is no fault of your own, that's when that faith either evaporates. You get to see how much that faith weighs, and it has to turn into trust. Because I know every time before, when things started going bad, I would run, I'd ignore it, I wouldn't be accountable, I'd mess things up and leave my loved ones to do damage control. So I have to get to the point to where I can trust God to get me through this. I'm on this walk with Him, and not just turn around and run anymore. Things might suck for a little while, but it's going to be okay eventually. And I need to mature in that way.
What I'm saying is too, like, when you get into, like, again, so what I'm saying is how you can prove this, like in reverse. Like if I'm like, oh my God, it's tax time, I'm probably going to owe $500. I'm going to owe $500. I know I'm going to owe $500. Guess what the fuck happens? You owe $500.
Or 1,000.
So change that. I am so happy and grateful now that I am getting $500 back on my federal taxes. I am so happy and grateful. That is how you change it, man. That is, to me, the God inside. And if I'm saying and I'm stressing myself out, now I'm betraying God. Now I'm sinning against God.
Yeah, He says, be still.
That is how I believe. And it's not,
that's biblical.
It's just, I don't know. I can't.
But if you get in those, and I'm guilty of this.
When people say that doesn't work, well, you say, yeah, it does, because you worry about shit all the time, and all that shit just keeps happening to you, don't it?
Well, I mean, if that's working, you judge by the fruit. If there wasn't like success in doing things that way, then all that fruit would be rotten. You'd be in a worse spot than you are. And if you're negative and you think pessimistically and catastrophically, I mean, okay, there's negative, evil, demonic spirits out there. If there's good, there's got to be bad. That's going to attach to that. That's going to manifest itself into the bad thing.
And you're going, I'm not saying that I'm always happy-go-lucky and that's all I do. I got rainbows flying out of my asshole. I'm saying you have to correct it, change self. So when you catch yourself, this is so amazing. You guys have got to watch this on YouTube. I'll put it on my, it's only 11 minutes long. Listen to it. It's amazing.
Okay.
Because I suck, obviously, at reiterating it. I shouldn't have said that. I'm amazing at reiterating. I went within and I changed that.
Self-correction. I mean, you're speaking life. That's
But
what you're
this
doing
guy
too.
is talking about in the beginning. He's talking about like when you have a nightmare and you're in a house and there's these people and they're doing all these things to you and whatever the nightmare may be, then you wake up and you realize it was a dream. But that is no different than when you're not dreaming, because the houses, the people, the rocks, the granite, the grout in my tile over there, that is all me. That is not, I mean, it's so amazing how he explains it, but
Oh, wow.
It's just so cool. It's like, it'll really, and again, he's not satanic. I mean, it's just a whole different way of faith.
Well, they say this. I mean, what you're saying, I'm like, well, this is biblical in a sense, because people will say, when you pray, you have to pray with expectance. Like that, when you pray, you have to expect it and believe it to already be done. If it's God's will in His time, whatever. But it makes no sense to me to pray for things that I don't have in my mind, expecting it to come true in whatever way. It might happen a little bit differently than what I'm praying for. But I mean, we got to pray with expectance, and that's speaking life and having that mindset, and it changes your heart posture too. So like when tough things happen, you're able to deal with them. I mean, I went through life. Yeah. Deb will tell you, I've been the negative, most pessimistic person ever. I would ruin the whole weekend because Friday night or Saturday, I'd be dreading, oh, work's coming Monday. So there goes my Saturday, there goes my Sunday,
there you go.
And then Monday would suck because I walk in with a bad attitude.
For that. Yeah. These teachings are perfect for that, to heal that, because it's real. I've had that ever since I was a little kid. Sunday morning, you wake up and you want to kill yourself because you got to go to school on Monday. That's a horrible way, and that's all man-made, created to control us anyway. So
in this world,
time and days are no such thing.
This world, this society, these days will push that. They want you feeling like a victim. They want you feeling like everybody's out to get you. They want you to feel like that you're special and you're suffering for somehow. They want to get every 8-year-old on an antidepressant when they might just be a brat and having a bad day and don't like mom because she wouldn't give them a Snickers bar. Give them that's the wickedness of this world. That exists. And if you stay there, you become a commodity, because now you're a commodity. Now you got all these anxiety issues and you're suicidal and everything else. We just got to keep giving you pills. So if they keep feeding that.
I drive a school bus pre-K through 8th grade, and I got 2 little girls. One was in kindergarten, and the sister was like in 3rd grade. And the little one was just a spaz brat, no discipline, you could tell, spoiled rotten. And her sister's like, I'm sorry, my little sister didn't have her medicine today. And I said, your sister doesn't need medicine. I said, she needs to listen and sit down and shut up. You know what I'm saying? People don't want to take the time. They just want to throw a pill in their mouth.
Yeah.
So that's all, that's another thing we can't.
Yeah, I mean, it is. And we could go on and on and on about this one, but it's just, I mean, I think a lot of parents, I don't know. I just think like the art of discipline is kind of gone. Like, I think a lot of parents are scared to even discipline their kids at all anymore or anything like that. I mean, we grew up with the, go pick a switch, from outside. Yeah. I mean, I got the fly swatter, the extension cord, but I'm not condoning that kind of stuff. But what I'm saying is, like, as soon as the kid starts acting out, they want to take them to a counselor, or they want to be like, what's wrong with them? I'm like, you got to give them a timeout now and then and take their damn phone and Xbox from them. Maybe go out to the woods for a little bit. And they've lost that. Like, that doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, it's unreal. But, I mean, I guess, like I say, I'm not here to try to change nobody. I'm just trying to help everyone.
I appreciate it.
This is more about how you talk to yourself, and love yourself. Talk to yourself like how you would want yours to be. Yeah.
Speak life. I mean, people will say this all the time. If you get to a good place, they're like, well, what would you go back and tell the 15-year-old you? Well, I mean, probably some good, positive, change my mind type of stuff. Like it wouldn't, change much now. Like be now who you needed at that age, and if, I don't regret nothing. I mean, the way my life went was the way it went for a purpose to get me to where I'm at today. So I don't regret that, and I wouldn't go back and change anything. But I know now if I would have kept thinking and doing the same things, and I mean, I did it into my late 40s for crying out loud. So I do wish I could have got this when I was in my 20s, but it happened when it was supposed to happen. And I know it's a fundamental change in me. Am I perfect? No, I got a lot of bad stuff still going on, but I'm okay with having a bad day now and then. I'm okay with that because I know I'm not going backwards. I know I'm not throwing nobody under the bus, and I'm not picking up nothing over it. And I have people to call on and talk to. I burnt bridges, Chad, with my life. I didn't have nobody to talk to. I did it all to myself. And then when things went crazy, that's when I had to think that, I needed alcohol and drugs to fix everything. And it wasn't the case. And I don't have to live like that at all, ever again, And I mean, that's a saving grace in and of itself.
I want to, if you don't mind, something popped in my head, and I really want to change gears on something here.
Please.
That way everybody can relate on something. And one thing that, man, I want to say, I know it was a decent day. Let's call it February or March, somewhere in there. For those of you that don't know me, I'm way into, I'm 55 and I'm not worth a shit at it anymore. But I used to be one hell of a skateboarder and badass at BMX. So yeah. Not racing, but more into tricks and street style and things like that. So anyway, that's my passion, right? So anybody wants to come over and check out my collection, whatever, I have an insane amount of bicycles and skateboards, and the UPS truck is just here almost every day. So it's my thing, man. So anyway, we're talking about get fresh into sobriety and how I was saying I isolated and I hadn't got moving yet, and but I wasn't rushing my healing, right? I was on my own terms. I'm all the static and people trying to tell me what to do, what I should do, weren't in my shoes, so I just did my thing. Well, long about March, I don't remember what happened, but somehow I had a little extra money at that time to where I could buy some fresh accessories for a bike it's one of my sons. It was a badass bike to begin with, but this is going to give me something to do, right? So tore the bike down, did some custom spray painting, put some new rims and all kinds of things on it. But my point is I was outside working on that, and I come in, and I don't remember, Amber must have posted, my fiance must have posted it on Facebook or whatever, but she had recognized what had just happened there. I had gotten sober, and now I had found self. I found my real self again, which is building bikes and all these things. And she mentioned that that my energy and the joy and the smile on my face as I was doing these things. But she was right here at this door. That's my back patio in my garage right there, through there. She was spying on me, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Sure. Doing a little candid photos or whatever of me out there. And dude, that's love, when a person recognizes that. But what my point is too, is I am so happy and grateful to now be there and have those resources to fund my passions and things of that nature. My imagination with my sobriety, and I've always been very artistic. I'm a talented person, and I just am. That's my gift. So what's amazing is being sober and having that clarity and almost being a child again. Feeding that inner child, man. And I can't explain how good that feels.
Get it.
And how, I don't know, I'm on fire, guys, and I wish everyone could feel what I feel, and that's why I bring to the table today what I bring to the table. Yeah. I'm not trying, again, if you are a Methodist and you go every Wednesday and Sunday and whatever, that's, man, God bless you. That's not Chad. I'm not, and I don't want people that have never heard what I'm trying to say, and I'm not good at repeating it, think that I'm some kind of, well, it doesn't matter. I really honestly don't care what you think because it works for me, so whatever. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. It's just my life is, I couldn't ask for a better life than what I've achieved in the last 6 months. And I mean, I want to say just to kind of wrap that up. I mean, just believe it or not, I did try to prepare a few things for this, but anyway, plant seeds within yourself.
Sure.
Dream yourself, and people don't, you can believe that every night. Pray to your blue in the face, but you use that imagination and dream and consider it done, and it'll come into fruition. I guarantee it. Dream yourself into the life you desire. Everything starts with your imagination. Everything. You wouldn't have been on this podcast if you didn't imagine doing it one day, Travis.
True.
Everything starts with self. Everything. Everything you do is because of you. Your imagination creates your reality, which I just basically said. And guys, you're not a prisoner of your mind. Change it. And I know it's not easy, because believe me, I'm a Sagittarius and I can worry about shit. I can create stuff that had never happened, but it's going to happen. But I've fought and I've fought and I've fought and I've practiced and I've practiced to get through that. And still I struggle, but I get through it every day. And I've found a better, a way to change it and try to, ease my mind. And, you are the author of your life. You write the story. How do you want it? How do you want your life to turn out? How do you want your story to look? What do you want that to look like? It's all right here in your imagination. Dream something wonderful, at the, and wake up the dream you choose too. Wake up to that, because it's going to happen. But the thing is like, another thing that nobody talks about is revision. And this comes even from a Bob Proctor course that I took, which is a business course. He's an amazing guy. He passed away. He's from Canada. But anyway, revision. So you don't like the way your day went. So, and I do this almost nightly. Sometimes I don't. But you can either write it out or you can just do it in your imagination. But when you go to bed at night, just recreate your day in your mind of how you would have wanted it to go versus how it went. And watch what happens. It's called revision, because you're revising your day. Sounds nuts, sounds like witchcraft, but it works. And you're not hurting anybody. You're only bettering yourself. Not to mention another thing, like he even said, like, if you get a letter in the mail that the IRS said that, you owe back taxes, or they screwed up and you owe $5,000, rewrite that letter and send it to yourself how you'd want that letter to be. It's just your mind, man. You have no idea how much that creates your reality and how you can change things. It's a fact.
I like that. It's not lost on me that, I believe that, God knows the desires of my heart. He knows that, I'm trying to do, not really trying. I'm just showing up because I feel like he has me in a position to do these testimonies, to offer these meetings that we have, through this awesome group that he's given me and my wife, that's brought me and her closer. But I love the fact that I'm not doing anything from a selfish point of view anymore. It's just the opposite of that. If none of this I thought helped anybody else, then I would lose interest in it. And this is kind of my passion. I know the talents and the gifts and the skills that he's given me, but I squandered it. I didn't do nothing with it for 47 years. So I'm like, let me give that back to you, and you do what you want to do with it. Here's what I'd like to do. Here's what I think I could do. Here's what I see me doing. But that's up to you, because what I have is more is more now than what I was throwing away and what I didn't appreciate. And I do kind of replay days in my mind, and I've been way more positive probably these last couple of years than I had in the previous 12 or 14. So I'm just like, Lord, this is kind of what I'd like to have, but what you're giving me today, I'm good with, and I'm satisfied with that. Because sometimes I'll move too quickly and I'll kind of mess some stuff up. So I've slowed down a lot, but he knows that, I want whatever he gives me to do, because I've seen the successes of it with, having conversations like this, man. Like this is the most we've talked in 50 years, and we live in the same damn town. Yeah. I like to think that was kind of brought together for a reason bigger than both of us, because we both got sober. Now we chat talking.
I don't want you to limit yourself, though. I want you to make it fantasy, unreal. Like I just saw your lovely wife say that you're basically want an RV.
I'd love that. That'd be traveling ministry, traveling. I talk a lot, brother, and
I'm so happy and grateful now that I have an RV and I have all the resources and then some.
Envy. No,
that's all you gotta do.
I mean, I would love it, because I could see us doing that, and I think that would be awesome. And if that's God's will, then that's God's will. Now I gotta put some work towards doing that, because what's the use of praying if you ain't gonna work towards what you're praying for? Well, now you're just kind of, do you know what I mean? If you just work towards it.
My thing is like I would just say I am getting an RV and trust that. And
then I do.
Well, listen, and then the universe will lay out the path for you in order to get that. I've learned that, and that was also in my business course. Like when you trust and you have faith, and if you're imagining, and another thing you can do, guys, that I had to do in that course, and I loved it. Write out your future in the present tense as if it has happened now. There's a book called Beach Money, and the author's name is Jordan Adler. He's a multimillionaire, and he calls himself a 13-year overnight success because it took him a long time to get where he was. But what's amazing about this book is he was big on, he loved Arizona, and then him and his wife ended up building a house up north, like I want to say might have been in Flagstaff by the Grand Canyon, whatever. But when they moved into that house, he found his journal where he wrote his story of his fantasy life and all the things he wanted in the present tense 13 years ago, and it was almost verbatim to where he was at.
That's incredible.
And I mean, that is just, I don't care what you think when I say that. It's the truth. It works, and I've done it, and I've already seen so many things come into fruition from that.
I think that, I believe in things like that. And
my name is Travis, and I'm a traveling minister, and I have a 35-foot.
It's in my name. That's what I said.
There you go.
Traveling is in my name. But I will talk sometimes, and Deb knows this. Like I'll talk about some things like they're already happening, and because I'm trying to I'm giving God, or the universe, I'll say God, I'm giving him what I want, what I desire. I'm good with the journey. Wherever he leads me, I'm good to go, because I know where I led myself and it wasn't good. But I will talk about things like in the present, like, oh, this is already happening. This is what's going to be going on. This is, I'll be like talking to Sean Ryan and, Joe Rogan. I just talk about this stuff. It sounds maybe delusional, but I'm like, at this point, I've survived God saved me from 2 suicide attempts. Why not think big and dream big and sound delusional? Because when it happens, that's going to inspire somebody else to be like, well, shoot, I live in a small town, but I don't need to have a small town mind. You got to dream big.
It's just like my mom, she's 77 years old. And let's say that I had an interview today I'm just going to be silly. I'm going to go work for Tesla as an engineer and make $500,000 a year.
Nice.
She would say, oh, I hope so. Oh, I hope so. That is, when you say I hope, you are just presenting lack. That is lack. You want to say, if that was my mom should say, I am so happy that you are going to get that job with Tesla. Because now you just put it out, that is what's going to happen. When you say I hope or I wish, or I pray that or whatever. Now you're showing lack. You're not possessing shit.
Get that.
And I mean, it's just
acceptance.
It's so crazy what I've had to, what I try to do for myself as far as correcting my words and how I talk to myself. Because I'm like the only person I can't forgive, I used to say, because I can get so mad at myself.
Yeah.
Like today, I sold an old dresser to my neighbor, and I'm like, I'll wheel it over on the dolly. So I dropped the damn thing, and I'm cussing up a storm. Now none of the drawers work. So I'm just livid. You dumbass. I'm like, whoa, don't. No. So then I'm like, all right, now I'm stuck. We've been doing so many things that we have so much clutter in our garage. We're just, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I just want it to end. And I'm like, now I'm stuck with this damn dresser that doesn't work, or whatever. So I put it on Facebook. Hey man, you might need to fix the drawers, whatever, but it's free. It's on the curb. And before I hit send or, whatever, post, neighbor messaged me. He goes, hey man, I'm going to go ahead and take that. I'll fix those drawers. And I wanted 75 for it before I dropped it. And he goes, I can only find $72. I'll get you the other money by the end of the day. He was just scurrying around the house for money. I said, we're good, brother. And I said, yeah, you're right. You can probably fix the damn thing. And bless him because he kind of put me up to, and I'm not, whatever. He's like, yeah, just wheel it over on the dolly and I'll pay some cash. I'm like, sure. It's almost like he's just that good of a dude where he kind of felt bad because I don't know. But here I am flying off the handle at myself.
Yeah.
Getting ready to just give the damn thing away.
Yeah.
And here's dude going, I'm still going to give you the money, man. And
he might even enjoy fixing it up a little bit. I mean,
it was funny because I'm like, I'm sorry, we've just had, like I just said, we have so much going on. We're always doing something. I just want a minute where we could just do nothing or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was joking around because he's married, and he's like, well, a couple years ago, you had that life where you really wouldn't have to do anything, but you went ahead and screwed that, teasing me because Amber's my fiance, just man crap, I'm like, yeah, but you know what? It's good to keep me busy.
True.
We work well together, and her talents and mine mesh pretty good. So
like that. Well, you said fiance. When's that gonna jump up to the next level?
I don't know yet. We were going to get married a couple Septembers ago, and what happened? She had a lot of issues where she was going to have surgery and just pain. There was no way we were going to get a wedding pulled off. So then it's kind of been on the back burner.
You got to speak it into life, man.
Yeah, we'll get it.
Let me ask you a couple more things here. I think talking locally. We kind of talked about it the first time, but I really want to pick your brain on this one. What's some resources in this town that you think that we don't have right now that, people could definitely use that would be beneficial to them, that would make an immediate impact when it comes to addiction and alcohol? What's some things this town could use to help people?
Man, I don't know. I guess that's a hard question for me because You didn't?
Yeah, well, true.
I didn't go outward for help with it or whatever, but I just, and of course, me, I'm griping at the mayor all the time wanting a skate park, but
that's my next question.
I'm working on that, and skateboarding can be a gateway drug, or it can be a drug on its own that keeps you out of trouble. But skateboarding packs a powerful punch because it brings so many things to the table: music, art, fashion, those things.
It builds confidence in yourself too, right?
What's that?
It builds confidence in yourself.
Oh, absolutely. Your mental health, your physical health.
Yeah.
I did across from Renew where the building burnt down, the old Eckerts and that.
Yeah.
I did a concept with AI, just whatever, of a skate park right there. And you may have seen it or may not. But, it's been a while now. I posted it on Facebook.
I remember.
And I've been shoving it down the mayor's throat, and I sent him a video of this lady that's like, because remember they had one at the wreck that was a joke.
Yeah.
And I didn't live here, of course, when that thing happened, and it was better than nothing, don't get me wrong. But the thing is these towns like Lincoln, they don't know shit about skateboarding, so they throw in this park, there's a couple ramps on top of a piece of concrete. And then they're like, well, nobody used it. We spent $10,000. Well, what the lady's saying is, well, yeah, you built a $10,000 piece of shit. And basically nobody wants to ride it. It's not safe. You missed the mark. It's just, you might as well not done anything. But then she goes on to say how, like what I just said, the art, the music, the mental health, all the things. But what I'm trying to explain to Tracy is if it happens in that location, wherever, if it's at one of the parks downtown, it doesn't have to be massive. It just has to be rad. It has to be legit. So what else happens right downtown dead center? We have a beautiful depot. We have an Amtrak that comes in from St. Louis, Chicago, Springfield, Bloomington, every day, all day. So you build that, and I'm like, okay, so you got these rich, say, it doesn't matter, middle class, rich, poor, doesn't matter. But you have people now that sniff wind that we have a stagecoach downtown. I'm just kidding. They sniff wind that we got a skate park. So they jump on the Amtrak from Bloomington, and Mom's like, yeah, I heard they have the bee down there in the guest house. And so I'm going to take the kids, Ralph, I'm going to take the kids down to Lincoln on the train. It's only $20 for all of us. So now she's got 3 or 4 teenage kids with her, and they drop them off the skate park. She's downtown spending money. The kids are hungry. They go eat. Whatever, you get it. I mean, it's not rocket fucking science. But the problem is I like Lincoln, but it's just so anything progressive, anything that's going to work, they don't want. But I just think if the right people get, and the thing is like too, that I tried to explain to Tracy. Now, Thrasher magazine just did this awesome biography about Philadelphia. Now I realize we're Lincoln, we're not Philadelphia. Okay. But what had happened is in the 90s and early 2000s, just downtown Philadelphia was the skate mecca with all the granite, like, you know what I mean? Like granite surfaces, sidewalks, all the ledges, the stairs, the handrails, all the things. And it was just, it's legendary in skateboard culture. So then later they ended up demoing all that stuff, and they were in the process of changing it up. And it was going to be like super lame. So like all the skateboarders got involved, and they're like, no, man, we need it like this. And I mean, I'm not shitting you. This thing is amazing. It just blows me away what skateboarding is today versus when I was a kid. So long story short, they were getting ready to do it. The city's like, well, our budget, we can't do the granite surface no more. We can't afford that. So the pro skaters and everybody in Vans shoes and everybody's like, what bullshit. And they paid for it. They're like, hey, listen, man, we're going to do this. We're doing it right. And we're going to make it skateboard. So basically what ended up happening is Philadelphia teams up with the skateboard community, and they end up building this, this public area that's basically a park, or however you want to say, and incorporated skateboarding into it. And skateboarding put their money into it and gave them a beautiful, beautiful thing. If you go on YouTube, Thrasher Magazine, just type in Thrasher Magazine Philadelphia, and that'll come up. And I think it's 20-minute documentary, but it's amazing. It shows the dude that's narrating the documentary. He's actually in the boneyard or the graveyard of all the old infrastructure, all the old granite. Dude, there's stacks upon stacks of all these, and it's just crazy. And he's going through it, and he's like, oh, this right here, this part. It was like archaeologist of skateboarding. He's like, this bench right here used to be located at 43rd and Jensen Street, and you can see here where they grind it. It's just amazing. But I'm a skater, so I mean that's huge to me. But my point is back to the skate park is like, what can happen? Those are the things that they don't realize. That skateboarding is pretty important to skaters and the skate companies because they got to have it to make money, and they love it, so they're going to give you the money for it. And I realize it's not going to be as easy in Lincoln versus Philadelphia, but there's also lower. It's just, again, if you can imagine it, you can make it happen, and it's going to happen. So
we could be like, look, if you give us a really rad skate park, let Chad be involved in that. Maybe we'll let you do like half a data center or something somewhere. If it's a data center, oh man, let's get that going real quick and agree to it ahead of time before we even have a council meeting. But if it's a skate park,
yeah, I know, and I'm so tired of hearing about that.
I was making a joke, but that's kind of how they think. They don't allow. They make you think that they allow outside opinions to really delegate what goes on, but stuff's agreed to ahead of time. Contracts are usually written up ahead of time, and then they just assume voters and citizens are going to be cool with it, and when they're not, they're like, "Oh crap! Well, we better have a moratorium." Then don't get me started.
Yeah,
I want to run for mayor someday. I'm going to dream that into happening. I'm going to have an RV and be mayor, and just be a mayor on the road for Lincoln, and you get your money for your skate park. How about that?
Thank you very much.
Dry Life Apparel. Tell us what that's about. I got like another question or two, and then I'm probably wrapping it up.
Oh, it's just, it was, I think it was, shortly after we did our first podcast together. Of course, that was next thing you know, what happens? It's dry January, right? Which, I mean, I'm not going to make any fun of anybody, but that's amazing. Dry January is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I'm like, I started thinking, like, fuck dry January. What about dry life? That's where I'm at. I already know I can do 30 days. I'm making this a lifetime. So I simply just came up with some designs and shot them over to my screen printer that already does my other stuff, and boom. And I mean, I ain't making anything on it. I think I'm selling them here. My fiance says, "Are you selling any of these, or are you just making them so you can buy them?" Because when I order them right off the website. I don't pay cost for them. I pay the full price, because then that money just goes in the kitty at the shop. And if I got a customer that orders 10 shirts in a month, I send them a free one. Doug Noggle, I'm pretty sure he's on here. He's a good friend of mine, same age, grew up together. He buys my shirts religiously, like they're Hot Wheel cars. He loves them. You know what I mean? I got a guy in Texas, but it takes time. But,
yeah, that's true.
And I'm not, like you asked me, what do you think you could do? What resources as far as people with sobriety? As the owner of this gig, I sit around and I think, who could I donate part of my profits to? And not gonna lie, it would help build my business and make me bigger. But I can also take part of my proceeds and give to that organization. Who do I want to give that to? That's the way my mind works. And because I'm not a selfish person, I like to share. I'm not by no means. I wasn't brought up that way. And also I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a not-for-profit, but because I like to take. I mean, there's no shame in that. I created this. I'm going to make money off it. It's better than working for FedEx. I'd rather work for myself.
Good
I'd
point.
rather build my dream than theirs. But because my son actually had some issues, and he went to the old St. Clair's Manor.
They're
out of Pekin or whatever, and they're good, but they're not they're not hurting. They're charging shit tons of money. I don't know, and I don't really want to donate it to AA. Really, I mean, what do they need? They just have meetings.
Yeah, I've
And-
had.
and
That's. I mean, I'm
coins.
glad they have them. It's better not.
No, I know, but I'm just saying.
I couldn't. I had to stop going.
Like I was like, I'd give it to Travis. What what do you
Hey.
need it? I mean, what can we do here? I'm open.
Never take it. I mean, it doesn't cost much. We do the Wi-Fi, the Zoom stuff, and everything like that. Like I said, I just DoorDash. I know I need to make more money, but I just don't think me going back to 10 to 12-hour days is going to be the thing. Like I said, I might have to really get off here and me and you have some coffee or something at the guest house and talk about the solar panel stuff, man. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think having some more money coming in and doing some stuff might be a thing. I'm not trying to, milk you for nothing, but it's going to be something that I do from home, and I can't be out at the factory for 12 hours a day. Like I'm 50 and I just can't do that. But to keep thinking I'm going to DoorDash myself into some finances, it's not going to happen.
Doug said he'll in the chat. He said I'll have them all.
We got a couple. I want to see some.
I know you do, and I appreciate the hell out of your. I appreciate it.
Man, I'm telling you, when we're doing shirts too from GBR, and we've had the conversation. We're not trying to get any money off of it, really at all. We just trade costs, but I respect that. You're like, man, it's okay to do that. I agree to a certain point, but I just can't wait for you to get the shirt because I think you're gonna like it way more than you think. It's a hell of a design. Deb came up with it. It's got a QR code on the back to the group. It's super cool, man. And
the one guy that I got in Texas that buys my stuff all the time, dude, when I started Zero Ducks, I didn't have any money. I couldn't even buy my own shirt. So I would see his on TikTok and I'm like, man, that sumbitch looks awesome in real life. And then Christmas come around and Amber's like, do you want some of your shirts for Christmas? Because you kind of need to represent. I mean, I had one, like the logo one or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you get them in real life. You're like, man, these things are, because Oakwood screen printing over in Decatur, those women are amazing.
We're calling them tomorrow, actually.
This is dry light. This is actually a tattoo I got on my shin, but it doesn't say Dry Life. I'm not into, other than my son's name, I'm not much into putting letters and words and shit. But anyway,
man, let me ask you this. This is my last question I got for you. You must have them. Some goals for the rest of this year, some plans, some dreams. I mean, for the second half of your life, what do you hope? What I'm going to say, hope. What are you dreaming for? I mean, how do you see it?
Well, one goal that, I got a lot of summer left, and I do want to meet with you because you can help me with this.
Okay.
But, God, it'd be amazing if I didn't have to drive a school bus anymore because I sold so much solar that I didn't, need that other job, or whatever. But it's almost a job that I like, though. So it's kind of, but let's say, I just have goals where I don't want to have to, I don't want to have to struggle. I want to be set up. And I want to get, I would love to see more of the sober community support my business and maybe buy a t-shirt. And I realize times are tough and my shirts are $25, but shit, we piss away money on dumber stuff. But I'd love to see that. If anybody has me as a friend or whatever from this, just share my stuff. Even if let's say I can't afford a shirt, Chad. That's cool. Click like, share it, and tag me in that. That's worth all the money in the world. I mean, that's what people don't realize. Supporting someone's business doesn't always necessarily mean.
Yeah, I mean, they like to share the link. They might be sharing it to somebody who might buy 2 or 10 or 20.
That's what it's all about. You know what I mean?
Have you ever,
just to clarify on what I mean by support?
Oh, I think they get it. This is a comment Deb put in the comments a while ago, and the more I thought about it, I'm like, I could see that happening. Have you ever thought about, this is legit, have you ever thought about starting a dry bar where you could have your shirts in there? You could be there doing it. It it would almost be like the reverse trend of like going to the alley by
Yeah.
again. Now we hang out with Chad. You got like a little ramp in there, or like a little mini skate thing, and then you just expand.
Yeah,
and that's how you get your skate park.
And you know, I've thought about that, and it's like, and it's funny because, dude, it doesn't matter what I think because she's right on it, because that's a thing right now. And you know, you get people in there and they spend some money on some
Every third Friday up on the square type of deal.
Yeah. And I mean, that's genius because, and I agree. It's just funny as like me personally, like a lot of my friends, like, oh, dude, one of my good friends, I'm not going to mention any names, but I am so happy for him. But God, I don't know if he's 4 months sober now. And I never thought dude would quit drinking just because he was like me, you know. He loves to drink beer and he, you know, whatever. But he's still sober to this day, dude. And I love that. And
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with that, but but anyway, I guess, okay. So like in particular, you know, he's the kind of guy that does like to still drink a beer. So he drinks an NA or whatever, which I was more like, if I'm not, dude, I love water. I guess that was my mindset with a dry bar, but it doesn't matter with mine because there's plenty of other people that want to go have a place to conversate that's NA, you know, and hang out. You know, I mean, that is a good. Wonder how that would go.
You could play any music you wanted to. You could play some old Shield up there now and then. You never know when all the guys might come in there. Even Judd might. I mean, I'm just saying that's something that I haven't given up on either. Like that one, like little reunion tour, you could play up on the third Friday. This is what you tell me to do. You tell me to vision it. This is what I'm saying.
You're right. You're right. And I'm over here sinning against myself. Right. You guys, no, that's amazing. And then, yeah, where can we have that at? Somewhere.
You never know.
But I mean,
so I'll be thinking.
You know, I don't know if you know, but like in 2025. Alcohol consumption was down 55%.
Yeah, I did.
And it's actually gotten to the point because I worked for Dan Raffa and we did draft beer systems, and the craft bars or also breweries where people are brewing their own shit. I mean, it's booming. He makes lots of money off of that. But I guess that alcohol has taken such a nosedive in sales that it's even starting to hurt a lot of these craft bars or these craft beer companies, you know.
Perfect.
You know, I mean, I kind of, God, you know, if they would have had craft beer when we were kids, it might have worked out a little better for us because you drink one of those and you don't even know what the hell your name is. It tastes like shit.
Definitely wouldn't have helped your skateboarding skills.
Man.
Oh my goodness, man! I could see that, bro. I'd come up there and hang out so often. It'd be so cool. I mean, we need that kind of a cool hangout downtown spot. You know, like they got Spirited Republic, and that's like, you know, alcohol. Like that's where people. But if they had like an alternative to that trendy thing, I think it would be huge. And there's, you know, so many people I know come to your mind that would possibly congregate there. It would be awesome,
dude. Yeah, when you mentioned that, I was like. And then you said Shield, and it's like, well, not Barry Minder, you know him. He's sober as a judge now and has been for a very long. I mean, for a while. And I'm not. And I'm horrible. I need to get a hold of him and go see him and things because I need to find out. Hell, he's no spring chicken. He might be on. He might be listening. I don't know. But Barry's always liking my stuff. You know, he's my homie. From way back.
He's seen the post for this earlier today and liked it. I hope he's catching it. Great, man. Let me just ask you this last question, man. Any last advice, opinions, anything you want to share for everybody listening, man? And I'm so glad we did this. I mean, in some ways, like that first one was powerful and awesome, but we could tell how happy you are, peaceful, determined. You got the fire back in you. This was a great follow-up. So
I guess, you know, guys, be nice to yourself. Talk nice to yourself. Don't beat yourself up over stupid things and whatever. And just trust that, you know, you're going to, whatever you seek, you will find. You know, I mean, faith in that.
I love it.
And again, anybody, whatever. My door's open. Travis knows, he messages me. I'm going to message him back. You know, I'm just a human dude. You know, I'm not, not unapproachable, man. I'm one of the nicest people you probably ever meet, but
I agree. I would agree.
But yeah, I mean, just keep going, man. And you know what's funny is I was joking around on one of my TikToks about that. Whenever you're like, man, I've been sober for 879 days and 32 seconds or whatever. People are like, keep going. No shit. You know what I mean? Keep going. No, I was going to go ahead and get a keg tonight and celebrate. No, I don't know. I just have triggers, I guess. I'm like, keep going. Well, yeah. Like they have no faith in you whatsoever. Well, you only made it 890 days. You better keep it up.
Yeah, nobody ever says, you think about, you were thinking about going back and you had so many days. No, not really. Today's good.
You know, it is funny. Like one of my friends asked me, because he's sober too, and he goes, why do you count the days? And I go, well, you know what? I don't necessarily. But if somebody says I'm 530, I'll figure it out. You know what I mean? And if it's an even number or something, I'll post it. But there's more to it than that. It's not about my ego. It's about the dude that's contemplating quitting and not, that sees it and goes, just like Mikey asking if I had a terminal illness. Jesus Christ, Chad Lohrenz been sober for 800 and how many days? Well, hell, I can at least make it today and see what, that's what it's about.
That's good. It absolutely is. I just like it on this side more. I like myself more. I'm learning how to love myself a little bit better, which allows me to love the ones that are close to me. Yep. And it's good. It's a little bit of spirituality aside, it's a little bit of a growing up thing. You got to grow up a tad, and I don't want to judge or anything like that. And it might sound like that, but man,
you hit the nail on the head.
That's the thing to me. And I don't want to say nothing else that people are. I just wish that people would have that moment. I think everybody gets to a certain point. I pray they do, that they're just like, this is just getting old. Like, this doesn't work more. This isn't cool. And because at that point, you could be like, what else is there? Can I live without this stuff? Who the heck am I? This has been who I've been for 35 years. People know me like this. That's not enough for me. And once you decide that that's not enough for you, then you have so much more to give to everybody else. And it's never about what they think, but to see somebody be like, holy cow, you're sober, and they really are like shocked by that and happy for you. That's pretty cool. That's not a bad thing. And if it helps somebody else be like, Travis Ingram's got 3 years sobriety, we thought he'd be doing whatever forever. No, I'm good. I'm sitting here talking and celebrating with Chad Lohrenz nowadays. And I'll take that. I'll take that dry life.
Right.
Brother, I appreciate you. I love you, man. I can't wait to get in the pool. And if you want to, chat about some other stuff, definitely hit me up. I definitely want to talk to you about that thing we were talking about earlier, and just to see what's going on with it. It might be something I could get into. And of course, I'll talk to Deb about it. That's my genius and best half, brother. So her opinions usually kind of shape some of my choices, and it works out best for me that way. So.
Right. It'll be a simple thing for you to, you can do it in your armchair, what I'm going to discuss with you, how you get rolling. It's just basically just if somebody's interested, fling it to me and, do 3-way text, whatever. Hey, this is my friend Jimmy.
I like it. We'll talk, man.
But yeah.
Brother, I appreciate you coming on here and sharing everything, man. Again, condolences to Mikey Rogers, a big personality in this town, larger than this town. He's bigger and better than Lincoln ever deserved, and he'll be missed, but he'll be celebrated for years and decades to come. We love and miss him, and I'm sure he's proud of you. And you know, he's happy to know that you don't have a terminal illness. You just decided to stop being sick.
That's right. Yeah. He got to ride the 52 Chevy. You know what? Hey, right. I want to recognize this.
Okay.
Under oath. Month or so ago, Mikey, you know, with whatever, he just didn't have a lot of extra money to throw around to go buy a damn T-shirt or whatever. Like I was saying, I understand because I was there before. I didn't even have my own shirts. But anyway, he had some money, so he sent me that website. So I did, and he bought about a month ago, and I thought I had a picture of him wearing it, but I don't. He bought on my website. You'll find my 52 Chevy because I'm manifesting that car back. But it says dry life, slow and low, because that was a 52, nice and low. But anyway, he had that shirt, and that was amazing. And one more thing with that said, I made that shirt, and like I just said, I'm manifesting that shirt in that car back. And I'm imagining that car coming back. The next day, once that shirt hit the internet, the next day I was on Instagram, and I had a message request, meaning someone was trying to message me that I wasn't friends with. So I accepted it. And as a Mexican dude out in LA, because that's where the car went, I sold it to a guy in California. He said, "Hey, your name came up on a title for a 1952 Chevy that I just bought. And I wanted to reach out to you and see if you could tell me a little bit about the car." And I'm like, "You've got to be kidding me." So anyway, here's my car in LA, and this dude messaged me about my car after I just made a shirt to try to bring this car back in my life. Tell me this shit don't work. I dare you. So I messaged him and I said, "Dude, it made me sick to have to sell the car, but it is what it is, man. I'm glad you got it." And dude, it's beautiful. They lowered it. That's all they did. Slammed it, put some nice wheels, 3-inch white wall tires on it. He had it professionally detailed. It looks amazing. So I told him, I'm like, "Dude, if anything happens where you got to sell that car, you better call me." He goes, "I promise, bro. I'll call you first, man. I get it." So it's just wild, man.
I could see it too. Like I was thinking of that earlier when we first started, and I put that in there with the car, and I was like, I could very easily see you have that back in whatever amount of time. So I didn't obviously know all that happened though, but yeah, it's kind of pointing.
And I mean, it's not something that I dwell on every day. Like, "Oh my God," it's just like you just said, all those things that you drink, those are just things, and
yeah.
So, it sucked at first. It was like putting a dog down, watching your car get loaded on, and I had to load it on the trailer myself, drive it up on there. But anyway, I'll let y'all go. Buy my stuff. Oh, I know. Did anybody message Travis if anybody's left on here? I think rigor mortis set in.
Yeah.
Guys, if you're still on here, get a hold of Travis or find me, whatever. Send me your address. I got a bunch of these stickers I'll send you. Wait, I'm trying to figure this out. Dry Life Sober Locals. This is one of my shirts. I think Doug got one. But that's something I used to draw in high school all the time on my skateboards and whatever. So I said, hell with it. I'm going to put it on a shirt. So get a hold of Travis or whatever, or me, and I'll mail you one of these. If you're in town, I'll deliver it to you.
I want a couple of them.
Yeah,
I'm sticking them on stuff.
So anybody that orders, I took stickers to the screen printers. So if you order a Dry Life shirt, you're going to get 2 or 3 different stickers, free sweater shirt. So that's it.
Very decent. Brother, it's been a privilege. It was fun. We got into some stuff. I was telling Deb I thought this one might go a little bit deeper, and I ain't gonna say better. I can't do that, but I just really appreciate the conversations that we had tonight, man. And I hope we have some more conversations off of camera and see what could happen, man. I'm in your corner. I'm cheering for you, and I appreciate you taking the time to do this.
Nope, anytime. I'll do it again tomorrow if you want me to.
We'll see. Everybody, this has been Chad Lohrenz on the spot again, and we appreciate everybody for tuning in. Everybody have a good night. Brother, I'll talk to you soon.
Later, bro.